winning attitude of positive self-control leads to the action quality of positive self-discipline. Positive self-discipline is paying the price of winning, and the theme of positive self-discipline is practice, practice, practice. Winners practice positive self-discipline. Self-discipline puts your money where your mouth is. Self-discipline dares you to place a bet on yourself. And self-discipline begins where lip service ends. All of the other winning qualities in this program are absolutely worthless without positive self-discipline. Because you may be motivated by desire, you may feel you're in control, you may expect to go to the moon, but you'll never even visit a NASA exhibit without persistent self-discipline. You see, you constantly talk to yourself every minute you're awake at about 600 to 800 words a minute, maintaining and justifying who you are today. Your little robot has matured into a whole control room full of some very big habits. And habits are the key, because habits start out as offhanded remarks or friendly hints, experiments, and like flimsy cobwebs with very little substance, they begin to grow, layer upon layer, thought upon thought, fused with imagination and emotion, until they become like unbreakable steel cables to shackle or strengthen our lives. Habits are the attitudes which grow from cobwebs into cables that control your everyday life. Many people have defined self-discipline as doing without, but a better definition of self-discipline is doing within when you're doing without, because self-discipline is no more than mental practice, the commitment to memory of those thoughts and emotions that will override current information stored in the subconscious memory bank. The keys to developing new attitudes, habits, and skills are 1. The commitment to memory, usually in a relaxed or meditating environment, those specific visualizations and accompanying emotions that can override current information stored in your subconscious robot. And 2, through relentless repetition, again, and again, the penetration and storage of these new inputs into your robot self-image, resulting in the creation of a brand new self-image about that particular act. Every winner I've ever met in every walk of life uses the technique of visualization or mental simulation every day in his or her imagination. As former chairman of our Olympic sports psychology program, I met a world champion Russian figure skater, and she told me, "You know, Dennis, I rarely fall because I practice each sequence in my imagination at night with my eyes closed, and I could successfully perform my entire routine blindfolded without hesitation." You know, I remember sitting next to a woman on a recent flight to Chicago who was making a weird, high-pitched humming sound with her eyes closed. I turned the overhead air nozzle on her face, and I asked her if she wanted me to call a stewardess to come to her aid. She retorted indignantly, "I beg your pardon. I'm an oboist for a symphony orchestra, and I'm practicing for tonight's performance." So you need to discipline yourself to win. You need to practice within when you're without. And you practice right before you go to sleep at night. And you practice right after you wake up in the morning. And you practice in the shower. And you practice in the car. And you practice whenever you have the free time. Because winning self-discipline is doing within when you're doing without. Here are the key points to remember about positive self-discipline. We need to remember that every day we should take our cues from the astronauts and the athletes and the airline pilots who are masters of the art of visual and sensory simulation. Airline pilots are a fantastic example because they simulate in the most sophisticated electronic equipment exactly what they're up against. And an airline pilot cannot afford one mistake because they're holding our lives in balance. Number 2 is understanding that there is a winner's behavioral cycle. Our self-image determines our performance. And immediately after every performance, we engage in self-talk, in words, pictures, and emotions, to either confirm or adjust our self-image about that particular action. It's a cycle, and the self-talk that we use after every performance determines whether the new self-image will reinforce the win or reinforce the loss. Number 3, as a daily exercise habit, we need to rehearse every important act relentlessly over and over again in our imaginations as if we had already mastered that act. And after every performance, whether it's closing a sale, speaking in front of a group, playing golf or tennis, or dealing with loved ones, We should control our self-talk to reaffirm or elevate our best self-image in the winning performance. If we have performed well, our self-talk should be, "That's more like me." And if we perform badly, our immediate self-talk should be, "That's not like me. I perform better than that." And then we should replay the action correctly in our imaginations. Repetitive self-talk again and again and again. That's the key to winning self-discipline. Positive self-discipline puts you in the driver's seat. When you rehearse the correct moves and internalize them, you will become a high-performance human being. Others will call you lucky or gifted or at the right place at the right time, because in a very relaxed manner, you will win just about every important victory you seek in the game of life.